Hello tubers, this is today's little project. I should start by saying that. I always start by saying that. How boring. It's a Homelite. It is an HBC 26SJ and it is a line trimmer or a whippersnipper in Australia. So now if you're going to tune one of these, which is what I'm going to do, wind your cord all the way in, because actually this makes a surprising amount of difference to the inertia of the head. And if the motor doesn't have to fight against a cord that's pulled all the way out here, then it's a lot easier for it to rev up to its maximum of 12,000 RPM. Not quite Formula One, but not bad for a crappy little wood trimmer. So first job, pop that out. And what you're going to find is that if you've got a standard one that's been bought from Bunnings, you'll find that the adjuster screws, low mixture on the left, high mixture on the right, what you're going to find is that these don't come with these handy little notches cut into them, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. They're basically round. Alright, continuing on today's little project, this is a Homelite that I could not get to run. So it was running when it came to me and I thought I'll give it a full tune, and I adjusted the carby and I just could not get it running. (50-1) two-stroke, and got our choke here, so it's in the start position. That's open throttle. You can see the butterfly there. And basically, what I've worked out is that you've got to pull off the high and low carby adjust screws, and I'll show you that in a sec. And you've got to screw the idle screw in and get that running first, and then you can mess with the high mixture or high speed screw. So this little carburetor here has got two screws. You've got a high idle on the right, which adjusts the mixture for high speed, and you've got an idle mixture adjuster on the left hand side, which is low speed. And then this one up here obviously is all it does is crank in the throttle, so screw that in like that, and it's simply the idle speed adjuster. You can see that that's a little screw indexer in there. So what do you do if you don't have these handy little slots cut into the adjusting screws? Like that, so you can get a screwdriver in there and adjust it. Here's something else. This is a little Ryobi leaf blower that I've been tinkering with, and you'll see that it also has adjusting screws, but what you'll notice is that the high speed one, which is this one there, I've already got that out and I've put a little screw adjuster in it. You can see that I'm turning that. But this one requires a special tool. What if you don't want to buy or don't have that special tool? I'll show you how to get that out. Okay, just take off the cover. Now all of these carburetors are going to be pretty much the same. There we go. You can see you've got an air filter in there, and you've got your two idle screws. So again, H for high, and that says L for low on the other side. This one hasn't been taken off and adjusted. These tools, which has a little like a spline inset to fit around the that adjusting screw, they're quite expensive to buy. So what you can do is you can basically take, this is an M4 mechanical anchor. You buy these at any hardware store, and I'll show you what you do. Just take it apart. Now what you're intending to do is to use the round component, put that over the top there, put the bolt back in so that you don't crush it, get a pair of vice grips like this and push down and rotate it, and that is how you undo these screws, and that's how you get it out. And I'll do this one and I'll show you that it does actually work. So the first thing you want to do is tap that on so that you get a good grip like that. Put the bolt in so that you don't crush the shaft, and rotate it counterclockwise. Remember, lefty loosey. Yep, and I can see that that's coming out. Give it another tap. Yep, slowly coming out. Give it another tap. There we go. So you can see that that is definitely coming out. I can now twist it with my fingers, flip over the edge there, and that is the clutch that you're looking for. Clamp it in a vise, get a hacksaw, just use your thumbnail and start very, very small. And I'm using the original notch as a guide. And now you can use any old flat blade screwdriver to turn that. And that is how you get a nice notch or slot, here we go, in the top of your carburetor adjuster. So quite simply, pop that back in. Now the trick here is to try and get it at the right height, which is the right number of screw threads. So I'm going to screw that in. Now you don't want to over screw this, so you don't want to wreck it. If you push it in too far you could damage it. So I'm going to screw it all the way in. There we go, that's pretty tight. 1, 2. So I've backed that out 2 threads, and I'll try and start this and see if that's a good starting point. Always use fresh fuel. That's a 50-to-1 mix. Close off the choke. So that's how you tune a carburetor when you've got these little mixture adjusting screws and you don't know how to get them out and you don't know how to adjust them. So back it off 1 turn, back off the low one first, get that one tuned, and then go for the high. So if you're just trying to tune one of these and you cannot get this started, and believe me, this whippersnipper is very, very difficult to start when it's out of tune. So what I'm going to show you is you put your blade in now that you've got your little blade. 1, it's about half a turn, so I'm going to screw that out about 1 turn. I'll put some fresh fuel in it, always use fresh fuel, and we'll see if we can get it running. Give the primer valve at least 8 or 10 squirts, make sure your ignition is on. And that is how you do it. One Homelite whippersnipper, that's how you tune it. Just to prove that this wasn't a fluke, I'll just power that on, flick the switch. Just like that. Beautiful.